Hey, thank you for coming by my YouTube site. This is Tori Magoo 44. It is April 14th, which happens to be my brother's birthday. So happy birthday to you. I love you. Anyway, this is a video about Scientology and their arbitration scams. Now, my friend Luis Garcia and his wife have been trying to sue the church for very specific things. And I'll put a link in here to Tony Ortega's site that explains it and gives very, very specifics on it. All I'm trying to do is explain what actually happened with WISE. Now, WISE is under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology. So even though they say, oh, no, we're not Scientology. Oh, yes, they are. They report their statistics every week up to the Church of Scientology International. And there's plenty of people that can duplicate that and say that and let you know that. But that's the truth. Okay, so what happened? Basically, my husband was working for a WISE company back when I was in. I was in for 30 years. He was born into it. I woke up in 2000 and escaped out, just in case anybody doesn't know. But most people do. Anyway, what happened while we were in is a gentleman named Bill Bowen had started a company with his wife, Ruth Bowen, and it was called TRT, Title Recontracting. My husband started working for it and his partner, and they started making quite a bit of money. Bill used to be a salesman, so he promised my ex-husband now he would never cut his commissions, because that's a common thing that companies do. Once you start making some really good commissions, they cut out the commissions. So he promised he wouldn't. He leaves to Flag, Scientology's big organization, the greatest place on earth or whatever, in Clearwater, Florida. One of the most expensive places, really. So Bill goes there. Ruth Bowen calls in my husband and says, okay, number one, you're not allowed to tell Bill this. Number two, I'm cutting your commissions. And she majorly cuts them. I mean, majorly huge, enormous amount of money cut out. He comes home totally upset. And I say, tell her to go to hell. You two are the only salespeople in their company. What are they going to do without you? That was my solution, but that wasn't his. He's a very nice guy. And so he went along with it. And basically she kept cutting it and cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. Okay. So finally it's ridiculous. And we decide you can't sue anybody in the Church of Scientology or WISE. That's completely against their policies. But you can take them, or you could then take them to what's called arbitration, right? So we set up an arbitration with Rosser Cole, who's another OT, top of the bridge attorney. And we do the arbitration. And we win. Now, my husband had signed a thing saying he would never take legal actions against them. They're always getting you to sign things, and you're thinking, when you're happy and starting, oh yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, now roll forward. We win the arbitration. His partner gets $100,000. That's what he wins. My ex-husband at that time, he was my husband then, now my ex-husband now, because he's still in. He wins $50,000. So they owe, between the two of them, $150,000. It's $50,000 less, but it's still $50,000. And they had cut an enormous amount of money out of his pay. Okay, so the arbitration ends. That's it. Sounds good, right? Next day, I call Flag. I say, hey, I want to talk to Bill Bowen. We had this arbitration and we need to get our money. Now, here's what went down. And this is what's important for a judge to understand. I get it. The church is saying they've never done an arbitration. But WISE, which is a division of the Church of Scientology, did. And whatever they say, they did it. And this is what went down. With their arbitration, this is a Scientology arbitration, right? Going by, they did have a policy at the time about arbitration, and we followed it. Okay, so I call Flag, okay, I need to talk to Bill Bowen. We want to get our money. And this is what we're routed to ethics, and the ethics officer says, oh, just so you know, that policy was canceled last night. And it has been decided that this is a personal issue between Harold and Bill Bowen. Now, it couldn't have been farther from that. It was a total business screw job by Bowen, by Ruth Bowen, actually. But, the fact that it was the first time I ever realized, oh my God, you can pay off David Miscavige and get a policy canceled. I mean, this was the arbitration policy for that the church had always pitched. If you need to, you can use our policy. Canceled, right? And at that second, I thought, now wait a minute. Think about Flag. I've been there a ton, right? We were both top of the bridge. We've been there a lot. And when you walk in, it says top donator, Craig and Sally Jensen. Second top donators at the time were Bill and Ruth Bowen. And I thought, he called up Miscavige and said, either you get me out of this or I'm going to stop donating to you. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But whatever happened, we never got a dime from them. And I had to I forget why, but Ruth Bowen has my grandmother's china, which really ticked me off. That she, it was sort of like a payment for something. And it was like, it just really, really, really makes me mad. It just shows how creepy these people are. I mean, just unbelievable. So saying that the Garcias are trying to fight over this arbitration crap, look what they did to us. We won. We won $150,000 between the two of us. Did they ever pay a dime? No, not one dime. They're still in the church in good standings, right? So that's where that goes. And I just wanted to make it perfectly clear. That is the scam of the Church of Scientology. They will never pay someone money through an arbitration. Ain't gonna happen. I don't think. But they certainly didn't for us. And Bill and Ruth Bowen, if you happen to see this, yes, you still owe Harold Bazazian $50,000 and his partner $100,000, and you owe me back my grandmother's china, and I would say probably half of the $50,000. There you go. Peace out. I love you guys that help expose these awful, horrible abuses. And thank you, Tony, for making it very clear. I'm going to put a link in here, and to everybody watching it, read the link. It's really good. All right. Bye-bye.